Babies don't do much at 3 weeks yet, do they? But it's exciting to have a brand new one, a scratch-off one. Well, I'm really proud of this. Thank you, Peg, for inviting me and for putting this together, making it happen. I did poetry venues like this for 7 years at Georgia Tech, and believe me, I know it is not magic. And thank all of you for being here to listen. I noticed how much attention you give, and I'm a middle school, was a middle school teacher for 31 years. So no middle school teacher ever got that kind of attention. It's stunning. So I'm going to read some poems, and thank you, Becky Faust, for introducing Peg and I. And I left Florida, South Florida, at 6 o'clock this morning. And the days worked just perfectly all day. Everything just happened just exactly the way it was supposed to, and it's been so exciting and fun and wonderful. And this beautiful space and all of your faces and the wonderful readers. So it's still working perfectly until this point anyway. I'm going to read 3 poems. I was really taken that the subject is the heart of the matter. I think, so I tried to pick 3 poems that I think are really gifts from the heart. And the first one I'm going to read is called Asylum. And there's a story here. In 1995, the Willard State Hospital for the Chronic Insane closed its doors after nearly 100 years of operation. I got a nod over there, somebody knows. Some journalists decided that they wanted to write about this place, and so they took a tour through the buildings. And in an attic, can you hear me? Am I positioned right for the microphone? I'm way down here. In an attic, they found 457 suitcases, unopened, because the inmates at the Willard State Hospital for the Chronic Insane were not allowed to have objects from home. This is for them and for the 5,000 inmates who were buried on that property in a number of graves. This poem is really significant to me because it closed in 1995. In 1993, my husband and I took our own daughter. That's all right. You had punctuation. Took our own daughter to the Stewart Homeschool after she finished special ed. When she was 21, she's still there. So this one means a lot to me. Asylum. Like orphans with suitcases, the gravely mute are dropped at the dead end of state care. Each one a name in pica type beside words like irrational, confused. Even this place of promise, where time moves like a landmass, smells of urine and fright. Here, men are measured in cc's and grams. Innocence walks on the verge of an open grave, looking down at a sick yellow light in the dust. Light laid down in a cockeyed pattern, the grain of Venetian blind slats, a labyrinth that will swallow it, an insistent hum, the numb oblivion of naked light bulbs, where it will pay to learn to be dead, where the living stand over the dead to make sure they stay dead. No one needs unpack a suitcase here. No one needs to remember the houses they were born to, or the idea of spring and a print dress. No one needs an old Valentine, a draft card, or photos of friends in dress shoes and hats on holiday. No one here needs the fire gone out in their hearts. Just having introduced you slightly to my daughter, who's 43 now. This is a poem about her called Lesson with Flashcards. My daughter has leashed our dog to the doorknob to teach him numbers with flashcards. 3 sailboats on half the card, the number 3 on the other 3, she says. So much love passing between them, I know I'm as close as I'll ever get to how grass feels in the rain. Bluebirds and wrens dive hell-bent at the dogwood for the last of the berries. Hunger and love have the same stinging insistence, but the berries will never last. The itinerant handyman's just rattled up through the pines, his wood-paneled wagoneer full of the bowels of furnaces, the bones of appliances, hoses and ducts, every possible pipe. His pulpit to all our falterings and dead stops. I wave him on. Nothing needs fixing here. One Saturday afternoon, I was working at the computer for a long time, and I took a break. And I turned the television on just in time to catch the Shima Classic famous horse race from a $5 million horse race from Dubai. And the number 2 horse was named Mars, and he was a fine finisher. He was expected to do great things in this race. He was an Irish-bred and Irish-trained horse, and they spent $50,000 to get him to Dubai to run. He had never finished below 2nd place, so there were high hopes. This poem is titled, When the Heart Dies, It Dies Entire. That's a line from a Kurt Brown poem, a poet I love, and his poem was called Massive. When the heart dies, it dies entire. Mars understood that something enormous bred into him made him run. Danger in good genes that, looking for a way out, uncoils, tears out ahead of the will for the 2 minutes along the rail, start to finish. But not this. Not this bursting heart, not the tracks falling away beneath his hooves, not how he'll go wrong, tear off, crash into the far rail, his rider over it crumple like a ruined city. Everything known, unknown, in a stone heart dark. Heart matters in a racehorse. Given out, it's a snapped cable, all the wires down. That hunger to finish, gone like a spoken prayer. Mars, the announcer says, is taking no part. As if Mars were a spoiled child pouting over a plate of asparagus. The 5 million went to gentle Donna. The sun went on its own track. The Mike the Cock crew packed up for the trip back. And the fans ripped up tickets on number 2 and cursed their rotten luck. Thank you very much.